Yes, these are, yes, of course, this is the seismic definition. These are the list of the loads like earthquake positive, negative, Z positive, Z negative, dead load, and live load. We know more these loads, and we also know how we have add those loads, like adding this sulfate and then 14 kilometer per meter load, and then 4.6 as a, you can say, parapet bar, 17.5 kilometer per meter is a staircase load, and remaining loads, so slab loads like 6 kilometer per square meter is the load of slab, and of course some kind of a hung loads. Hung loads, some people used to call this as a hanging loads. Hanging loads or hung loads, whatever it is. So those slab loads were also added to this structure for respective floors, and then basements also, right? So we had added all these loads, floor loads to this structure. We also have added this live loads. We also have added this live loads also. So we know that live load in commercial building or for commercial floors is 3 kilometer per square meters, 3 kilometer per square meters, which is also assigned to this basements or also to this terrace floors and the other remaining typical floors. And in addition to this, we also know that live load on the terrace slab are inaccessible. Sorry, terrace slabs is 1.5 kilometer per square meters, which is what we have added to this floors also, which is what we have added to these floors. Kindly please turn off your videos. Mr. Vijay Singh, I guess. Mr. Vijay Singh, can you please turn off your video? Yes, I could. I can do it. I can just do it. Thank you. So we have added this live loads also to this structure. Dead loads and live loads are added. And then later on we went to this seismic definitions. Later on we went to this seismic definition. And before we were adding this seismic definition, we had a very short discussion about earthquake. Anyway, we will make a detailed discussion after a few minutes. And in this case, as we know, there's a seismic weight. Nothing but we have to first find out this base shear, VB equal to AHW. AH is nothing but horizontal seismic quotient. I mean horizontal, yes, horizontal seismic quotient, also sometimes called as a simple seismic quotient. And then AH to W is the seismic weight, W is seismic weight. So we have to calculate this AH value and also this W value. So AH is nothing but a formula which is in fact defining this seismic quotient, that is Z by 2 I by R SA by J. Z is nothing but zone factor, which is depending on the seismic zone. So India has been divided into 4 seismic zones, seismic zone 2, 3, 4, and then 5. I is importance factor, which is depending on the importance of the building, As per 1893, IS 1893 2002, we usually have only 2 types of the importance factor. One is number 1, and the second one is 1.5. So 1 will be used for general buildings, and then 1.5 will be used for important structures like communication towers and assembly buildings. For the assembly buildings. For those buildings, importance factor would be considered 1.5. However, as per the recent code book, which was released in 2016, the minimum importance factor itself is 1.2. 1.2. In previous course, it was only 1, and now it is 1.2. Right? We know Z equal to zone factor, and then I is equal to important factor, or equal to response reduction factor, which is purely depending on the type of the detailing that we are going to use for this structure, and of course which is again depending on the structure which is located either in seismic zone or non-seismic zones. So seismic zone, nothing but seismic zone more than or equal to 3. If the structure is located in seismic zone more than or equal to 3, then it is a mandatory to follow ductile detailing, which is as per IS 1390 code book, code book. And of course, those provisions also will be explained to you in the last class. So there is a ductile detailing code book, which is IS 1390 code book. So based on that code and provisions given, if you can follow in the sense, it is in fact mandatory to follow when we have a structure located in seismic zone 3 or more than 3, right? So if structure is located either in non-seismic zone areas, if it is non-seismic zone area, anyway we don't even consider this a seismic analysis. If it is located in seismic zone 2, then we have to consider. It is optional. Either we can consider this a ductile detailing or conventional or ordinary detailing. Ordinary detailing or conventional detailing means detailing which is as per SP34 code book. Detailing which is as per SP34 code book, right? So that is what it is. Z by 2, I by R, and SA by G is a spectral acceleration, which is depending on the time period, and also this is a type of soil, time period, and also type of soil. We will be talking about very in detail in maybe in hardly after half an hour. We'll be talking about all of them, right? So that is what our short discussion last time we had. So what we had discussed so far is about AH value only, nothing but seismic quotient, and then W equal to seismic weight. Seismic weight is nothing but the dead loads which we have already added to this structure. You have to take an entire amount of the dead load and convert this into the weights. So that by following a standard procedure given for StatPro software, right? Which is what we did in the last class. And then dead load is now done, and then live load. In the case of the live load, whatever we have added this live loads now how to be reduced. How to be reduced when we are estimating or considering the seismic weight calculations. Seismic weight calculations. When we have a live load less than or equal to 3 kN per square meters, then we can take only 25% of that live load into seismic weight calculations. Right? So if I have a live load more than 3 kN per square meters, then we have to consider 50% of that live load into seismic weight calculations, which would be giving us a accurate or practical weights which are going to act on your structure, right? So whatever we had discussed are based on this IS 1893 2002 codal provisions. The same codal provision has also been there in has been there in 2016 code book also, right? Now it is pretty clear for all of us. The dead loads and live loads are also added to this, and this seismic loads also means before adding this seismic load, seismic definition has to be done. So whatever we had discussed is based on this seismic definition only, seismic definition, which is here, right? Here it is seismic definition, member weight, then floor weight, everything is now done. And then once we could add this seismic weight or seismic definition, then we have to use this seismic load cases. The other seismic load cases: earthquake X positive, X negative, Z positive, and then Z negative, right? X positive, X negative, Z positive, and then Z negative. Once we can just click on it, it's easy. Just go there, add here, and then you can post the questions later, please. You can please post the questions later. It's my request not to post any questions for some time. So we have to go to this earthquake X positive, add here, and then go to this seismic loads. I mean, yes, of course, seismic loads. And I have to click this X. Since it is a positive direction, indicate this positive 1. If it is a negative, and then X, here you have to indicate -1, and then Z, and then select this Z, and then negative, and then positive directions, right? So this is what we have to add to this, or we have already added to this structure in the last session, right? Yes, now we are now on track. So this is what we have done. The next step is, as we know as we know completely about the design in the sense, we have to finally fix up the member size and provide the reinforcement for a structural element or a structure to withstand the analytical resultants, which are generated due to the load combinations or the load cases which are applied to a structure, right? We know there are the load cases and the types of loads are depending on the type of the structure and the structure is located. For example, if the structure is located in non-seismic zone areas, we don't need to consider seismic. If it is located in a seismic zone areas, then we have to consider the seismic weights or seismic loads also. If the height of the structure is very huge, especially more than 10 meters, yes, of course, it is required to add this wind loads also. Anyways, in our case, we have avoided this wind loads, application of wind loads, and because we are more interested to emphasize more on this earthquake forces, so we intention have we just ignored it. And the second thing is once we have added these loads, then we have to add the load combinations based on the table number, I guess 18. Yes, table number 18, IS 456 2000. So based on the load combinations which are there in IS 456 2000 code book, table number 18. So we have to take the load combinations and apply this load combination to a software. It can be a STAAD, it can be ETABS. Apply those load combination to a structure, and then we can run the analysis to it. So once we can once we could run the analysis, then automatically StatPo would be running the analysis considering all the load cases and the combinations given to a structure. Right. Once the analysis is now done, very technically speaking, very next step is we need to add the design parameters to it. Design parameters, because analysis means, of course, analysis and design are two different. We can just analyze a structure. We can just analyze the structure and find out the behavior. Behavior in the sense, we can find out the bending moment, shear forces, deflections, displacement, story drifts. All of them can be, and this can be finalized or can be just estimated. So that is what analysis is. Once we could analyze it, the next step is we need to design them. We know the analytical resultant that we have got it from the softwares, and then now we have to fix up the member size and trial with it. In the sense, you have to give this appropriate design parameters to a structure or a structural component. There are few design parameters to the beams and few of the parameters to the columns, and we have to apply, take those parameters and assign all those parameters to a structure and a structural component, and then you can run the analysis and then check it. Once you could check it, so what to check it here now? We have to check if there are any warnings, any errors, any failures. If there are any errors, it means we would have completely done a mistake with the programming. So errors are not at all acceptable. You just have to find out those errors and rectify them. And the second thing is, if there are any warnings, you have to just go to the warnings, understand that warning and try to rectify it and clear them. Even if you don't clear them, of course, that is not really going to it's not really a major mistake that we have committed if you find any kind of a warning in this design. So you can just proceed with it. So, and of course, we will try to, means we have to just, just to gain more confidence, better we have to try to remove all the warnings from it. So that is the second step. And the third step is we have to find out if any member is failed. If any member is failed, you have to select that member. We have to find out the member number, write those member numbers separately on a paper, and you can just take all those member numbers and find out where those members are exactly in the structure. So once you can find out those members location in the structure, then based on our knowledge, theoretical knowledge and the skills we have to identify the reason for getting those members failed, for getting those members wild. So that is where we can utilize our skills, theoretical skills especially. Right, once we can identify this appropriate reason for getting the members who failed, then according to that, we can change the member, we can change the grade of concrete, or we can do something, or if you want to ignore it, you can ignore it, and then you can freeze the design. So once you can freeze this start file by getting this appropriate response from this for designing this structure, then you have to collect all this output information, write them down, and you have to just now find out this in diameter and then members, and give these member numbers, diameters and AST, find out the numbers and diameter of those bars, and you have to give this information to a drafting person who would be ready to prepare a structural drawings. Once the structural drawings are given, those structural drawings will be sent to a site for executing it. So that is what the conventional procedure or the phases that are involved for designing this structure, right? I just wanted to just brief you once so that you can just recollect the set of information, so that it will be easy for you to go ahead, right? So now we are here, we have added these load cases. Now we wanted to add the load combination to it. So if I want to add the load combination to it, the procedure is very same. Just can you please now start making more attention? Yes, here we have a load case details. Let's click on it, say add. We have to add here. Here I have a defined combination. Can you just look at here? Here I have a defined combinations, right? So the first one is primary, nothing but primary load cases we can add from this first option. And from the third option, we can make the combinations. You can make the combination, right? So here I can just go to this list, design combination. I can now change the name, or I can make a name here like 1.5 times of the dead load, and then plus live load, right? I can just show you the same thing on this. Yes. So here we have a combinations. Can you please once pay attention? 1 second, please. Yeah. So here we have load combinations. See, this is this is from IS 456-2000. This is from IS 456-2000. It is easy to remember the combinations. Here we have only two methods. One is limit state of collapse, and the second one is limit state of serviceability. Limit state of collapse and then limit state of serviceability. These combinations will be used to find out the bending moment shear force diagrams, and these combinations will be used for finding out the deflection of the structural members, and then the stress check. Usually this stress check will be useful when we are designing this like bridges, right? Usually stress check would not be performed in the case of the buildings, right? So most probably when we say limit state of serviceability or SLS cases, these cases will be used only for the deflection verification in the case of the buildings. It can be a commercial building or it can be a residential building, right? So we have two types of the combinations. One is limit state of strength or collapse. Second one is limit state of serviceability. So it is easy to remember it. Here I have a dead load, IL imposed load, and then wind load, right? Wind load can be replaced with the seismic load also. Wind load can be replaced with the seismic load. The easiest way here is when we have a two load combinations or two load cases of combination, like dead plus live multiply with 1.5. If I have a dead plus wind load, then you can say 1.5 only. You can just say only 1.5, right? If I have a dead plus live, if I have any two load combinations, I mean any two load primary case combination, in the sense, if I want to add dead plus live, 2 only, 1.5. If I want to add dead plus wind load, 2 only, then 1.5. If I want to add dead plus live plus wind, there are 3 cases, then you have to use only 1.2 as the factor of safety, right? Load factors of safety. And this is what about a very brief one about limit state of strength or strength combinations or collapse combination. And there are also some more combinations like you have to take this 0.9 times of the dead load, 0.9 times of the dead load, and then 1.5 times of the wind or seismic loads, 1.5 times of the wind or seismic loads, right? So this is another way. In this case, we have only two primary case combination. However, so there are two types again. First two primary cases combination has to be multiplied with 1.5, and second type of combination has to be multiplied with 0.9 times of the dead load plus 1.5 times of the wind load or seismic load, in the sense 1.5 times of the lateral loads. So those are all the combinations for limit state of collapse case. And then limit state of serviceability case, you can take dead load plus live load, only one. For all the two primary cases combination, you can take only one, like dead plus live, 1-on-1, dead plus wind, 1-on-1. If I take a 3 primary case of combination like dead load, live load, and then wind load, dead load is 100%, live and wind loads are 80% and 80%, nothing but 0.8, right? So based on this table, we can make a load combinations. Based on this table, we can make the combinations, right? So now I can get back to this start pro. And likewise, I need to add the combinations like 1.5 times the dead load plus live load. So this 1.5 I can reflect here, or I can just add here, right? I have to say 1.5 and then dead plus live now. So left side I have here dead plus live. So left side here I have a load cases. So since it is 1.5 is dead and live, I can select these two, transfer them right side. I can say add, right? So and again 1.5 times of the dead plus wind load, no wind load, earthquake, EQ X positive, copy it. So dead load and then EQ X positive, add, and I can again, so this combination has to be repeated for 3 more times because there are earthquake forces in remaining 3 directions also. So I can just say instead of positive, I can say it's a negative now. So dead load is done, negative is done, right? Add it. Likewise, I need to add these combinations. Likewise, I need to add this list of combination to the structure, right? So this is a conventional procedure, but if you can add the combinations like this, so when I have a 10 primary case, like 4 seismic directions, 4 wind direction, and dead plus live, 4 plus 4 plus 2, 10. 4 plus 4 plus 2, 10. If I have a 10 combinations, sorry, 10 primary cases, then I had to make at least 25 combinations limited of strength and then 17 combinations limited of serviceability. So 25 plus 17 combinations we have to add to the structure whenever we design it, which would be just consuming our time significantly. So the biggest advantage with the StatPro is we can just make the combinations separately, and as we know that there is a start input editor option, so we can just take those combinations from various maybe from the previous design file, or if you can even make list out those combinations in a separate word format, take those combinations and then paste them here, take those combinations and then paste them in start editor. That would be very easiest way. Now I'm going to show them. See, these are the list of combinations. See here. So they are the list of combinations. So what I can do is I can just simply copy these combinations and paste them. Right? See, not only I'm just copying the combinations from it, I also have two more options here, like perform analysis and also load list. Perform analysis and then load list. So what does these two statements mean? Once we can add the combination to the structure, next step is we need to inform to the StatPro to perform the analysis, which can be done by adding this first statement, this one, perform analysis. And the last one is load list. What is the advantage of adding this load list? It is, in fact, it is a very key point, I can say. Can you all please note down? We have to add a load list. Can you all please note down on your paper or on your notebooks? We have to add a load list to the StatPro once we perform the analysis. Once we could add perform analysis to it. Can you please note this down? Load list. Do not forget adding the load list to the stat model. Do not forget to add the load list to the stat model. So advantage with this statement is once you could add all these combinations. Next is perform analysis has to be added, and then we have to say load list from so and so to so and so. Reason is we have load cases in the same file, limited of strength combinations also in the same file, limited of serviceability cases also in the same file. But when we say load list so and so number to so and so number, usually so and so number in the sense like this. This is what the number is, 7 to 19. It means loads will be, load combinations will be considered from 7th number to 19th number. From the 7th number to 19th number. See, this is 7th number and this is 19th number. So up to this. Reason is these combinations are limited of strength combinations. Limited of strength combinations means all the combinations are multiplied or all the combinations are having the factor of safety more than 1. Like see, you can say 1.5, 1.5. Here it is a factor, here it is a stability load combination. For the first parameter, it is 0.9. The second parameter, it is 1.5. Likewise, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Again, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? All these combinations are having factor of safety more than 1.5. So these combinations are strength combinations. Means we are giving enough strength to a structural engineer, structural member. Strength in the sense we are giving enough strength, or we have to design a structural member to have enough strength for the analytical resultant. For the analytical resultant whose values are more than one. Or other words, what we can say is every structural component has to be designed or ensured that those members would be able to resist the analytical resultants, which would be more than one, or which is more than expected one, which is more than the actual or expected ones. When I consider only one times of the dead and live load case, means there is a normal condition. So I'm giving enough strength to the structural element, even though if I get 50% loads extra loads going to act on a structure, still my member or my structural element or a component or a structure must be able to resist such kind of the loads. Is called limited of strength. Strength means every element should have enough strength, which is 50% more than the actual loads which are suggested or which are given in IS 456 2000 or IS 875 part 1, 2, 3 code books. right? So those are all the combinations. So what I do now is I don't want to just go ahead using this convention procedure for adding n number of combinations here, n number of combinations by going through this normal procedure or a manual procedure. So that's why what I do is I'll simply delete this. I'll delete this, delete it. Yes, I will delete this. I'll delete this also. Now here I am. I even have these combinations with me. So I go to this point from here. I can select up to this. I can select up to this. Let me first copy these combinations and paste them. Again, we will talk about the remaining last two statements. Right? These are all the limit state of strength and serviceability combinations. I'm going to copy it. Control C, copy them. And then I go to this stat pro. I go to this stat pro. I'll open this stat editor. Can you all please once again look at here? So here I have a stat editor. This is stat editor, right? Even my laptop has become a bit lazy since we could not conduct the class the last two, since we missed the last two classes. Yes, now it's a stat editor. What I do is, if I don't, we might not know where we need to paste them. But as we know, when we started adding those load combinations, those load combinations were added after the load cases. After the load cases, can you just look at here? So this is the last load case, right? So I'll just drag this down or scroll this down extreme. Right here I have a finish. Before finish, I'll just make one space or one enter here. Right? Here I can make few stars. One more enter. I can make few more stars. The reason for adding these stars is just to recognize where we have added those combinations in the stat editor. Right? So I can just say enter and then paste them. Control V, paste it. Paste it. I can close this. I can say yes. Right? I can just see this. See, now the combinations are added. I have just added these combinations. I have already sent you this load combinations files to our WhatsApp accounts, right? Can you all please confirm, is this clear to all of you? Can you all please confirm, is this clear to all of you? Is this clear to all of you? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Very good, very good, very good. We will, Sahil, we have, because we have not stepped down these errors and warnings, we will do it. These default combinations, Mohammed, we have to write it somewhere on this Word file. I have already shared this combination to your WhatsApp accounts. If you have really verified them, you can just use those combinations. That's it. Those combinations are as per IS 456-2000, table number 18, which I had shown you a few minutes back. So you have to just first write them on a separate a Word file. You can just copy them and paste them whenever we require or whenever we are designing a structure. Yes, Shirayu, you are correct. That is the conventional procedure to follow, adding the combinations to it. Sahil, regarding these two questions, I would be explaining you after 10-15 minutes. Yeah, Chirayu, you can use for any project. Any project, I can even say every project. But make sure the load cases are same. Mr. Baumik, you just need to scroll this down, scroll this extreme down. And there is a word finish. Before finish, you can just paste them. Before finish, you can paste them. Or I can say after this load cases, after load cases, you just enter it and then paste them. Yes, of course, I can open any combination. See this? I can open any combinations. Don't worry, you have a plenty of information with you from this webinar, because anyway, I'm sharing this standard files very frequently. You can just keep it whenever you want to go through them, you can go through it. You must also feel happy and proud for having 10 crores building standard file with you. Yes, Geetanjali, you are correct. Yes, you are correct. Generally, we go for limit state only for all types of buildings, commercial. Is it right? Yes, of course, you are correct. Yeah, Manik, you are correct. You are correct. I had to remove this minus. You are correct. I can just remove it. No, don't worry. Yes, I agree with you. So this is x positive, x negative. There should not be negative here. There should not be negative here. I agree with you. Very good. I agree with you. Because it is already there on the name, xz negative, which is fourth one. So I don't need to multiply with a minus. I agree with you. Very good. So I'm removing this common minus here. I can once again copy and paste it. Yes, this one. I agree with you. So I go to the start editor, extreme down. I am going to once again send you this load combinations to your WhatsApp accounts. I can say yes. Chirayu, we will talk about this plate loads later. Last session, we'll talk about it in the last session. Load list, we will add it. I wanted to just explain you how to add the load combinations to it first. Now load combinations are added, then we will add the load list. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, flat slabs, to be frank, not really required, because if flat slab requires a skilled labor and skilled centering materials also. Centering material also would be different. Centering or shuttering or form work would also be different for the flat slabs. So that's why when we do not have any option, then we can go ahead with this flat slabs, right? Or otherwise, it is better to go ahead with this a kind of a conventional slab. On this auto load combination, I intentionally have avoided this auto load combination. Auto load combination option is very effective in the case of this ETABS. In the case of the ETAF, that is very effective, but in the case of the STAT Pro, yes, it's not really. Because when we say auto load combination, STAT will definitely will take the auto load combinations, but those combinations order is not so well organized like this. See, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, then 0.9, 0.9, 0.9, then 0.2, 1.2, 1.2. So we have a kind of organized load combinations here, right? So this kind of a organized load combinations are more important furtherly when we are designing the foundation to this structure, because we need to take the load, reactions from this structure, and those reactions would be well organized based on these combinations. But when I say auto load combinations, then STAT will take the random combinations. Of course, it will consider all the combination, but those combinations will be very random. So that would be tough for us to find for designing the foundations. So that's why people will not prefer to take these auto load combinations. We will talk about the release, don't worry. I agree with you to consider this a PT slabs. I agree with you to consider this PT slabs, but to be frank, PT slabs, flat slabs with the PT concepts. Not the flat slab with the conventional concepts, but we have a flat slab with the PT concepts. Those are running very well. I agree with you. But you know, when you go to this PT slabs, this cost would be very huge. Cost would be very huge when you go for this PT slabs. Dinosphere, yes, you can change the sign. So that is just a name. You can make it as you wish. Post tension. PT means post tension. Muhammad Abdul. PT means post tension. Yeah, floor height is less there. Use flat slabs. Yes, of course, you are correct. If I have very high rise, of course, even for this building also, instead of just going ahead considering a 12 feet height, yes, you can consider 10.5 feet or 11 feet hardly, 10.5 to 11 feet hardly, so that you can just add, you can just save 1 foot height from every floor. If you have a 10 floors building, additionally, you can have one more floor, because from the every floor, if you can just save 1 foot height of the floor, that 1 foot height from for every 10 floors would be added, would become an advantage to have one more extra floor. So that is the advantage to go for this flat slabs. Yes, now I think it is done. Now it's okay. Now let me go. And now let's please continue. Whatever the topic you are interested in, please post a message to my WhatsApp account. Then we would be accordingly planning for it. You can post the topics that you are more interested, or otherwise, of course, you can please post them. We also will list out the topics and send you to our WhatsApp accounts also. Whatever you are interested or whatever you feel something is more interested, then you can post a message. 11 and then 15, right? It's a name. Yeah, agree. You can just change this name. That's it. Since we have added this negative here, we just do this. Or otherwise, you can just change here. It's not a problem. You can say simply negative. In fact, I can even keep this also like this. So this is dead load plus live load and dead load plus expositive. And you can keep everywhere plus here. You can keep everywhere plus here. And of course, it's a name. Of course, it's a name. It's not really going to affect our design. And here, dead load plus live load, dead load plus X positive, dead load plus EQ negative. You can say you can say here this is a positive only. You can just say this also positive. However, you are adding this earthquake X negative load case to it, so you don't worry about it. Dead load plus earthquake X negative, dead load plus earthquake Z negative, like this, right? Yeah, we can give the names. Names are not really going to affect the program. The names are not really going to affect our program. Okay, just let me proceed. Let me proceed. I can answer a few more questions. Because Jadhav is saying, Sai Vesar, why we provided two-way slabs only. Yes, you are correct. Two-way slab nothing but long, yes, longer span divided by shorter span less than or equal to 2. If you find any problem with the STAD file, you can send me the STAD file, then we can clear that. Don't convert any kind of a two-way slabs to one-way slab or one-way slab to two-way slabs. Very practically speaking, the load distribution that is going to happen as per the STAD Pro is perfect. So don't do that. Don't just do that like a two-way slab to one-way slab, one-way slab to two-way slab. You just consider them, just you consider this as a floor load only. Whatever it takes, either one way or two way, you just proceed with it. Not now. We are not going to talk about this local. See, post a question which is very relevant to the discussion. Remaining questions, anyway, I will clear it. Okay, we will clarify your doubts in some time, please. Let's now proceed. So now this is done. So here we are exactly. So general and then load and definition. Loads are added. Load combinations also added to this structure. Here I have analysis. Here I have analyze or analysis, right? Or otherwise, I have before this analyzing this structure, I have to first go to this analysis and print this option. Click this, and then I can say add. I can say add and then close it. Right? I can say add and then close it. When I could add this analysis and print option here, see, here it is. Perform analysis, right? So analysis and print, you have to go to this. Once we add this analysis and print, then perform analysis added to it. Perform analysis added to it, because we need to inform to the STAT Pro. We need to inform to the STAT Pro to perform the analysis. Then only we will be able to use this option. Then only we'll be able to use this option. Click this option, analyze. If I click now, STAT will run the analysis. STAT will run the analysis. Let me just try this. So now STAT has started running the analysis. See? So this is how STAT is running the analysis. Yes. Now it's done. Now it is done. Analysis is now done. Right? Once I could analyze this, I can get back to this go to post processing. Means if I want to see the Bedouin diagrams, I can go to this. I can just click on this go to post processing. I can then say done. I can say okay, that's it. Right? So when I say done, automatically structure color is changed to green color, which means structure is now showing this deflection diagrams. Now the structure is showing a deflection diagrams, right? So here I have icons like deflection diagram, and then this is axial force diagram, shear force in y direction, shear force in Z direction, mx is the torsion, my is bending moment about y-axis, mz equal to bending moment about z-axis, and then finally I can have a deflection diagrams, right? This is the deflection diagram. So by default, the deflection diagram would be turned on. So that is why this is now in a green color. This is now in green color, right? So what I do is I can just show you, sorry, I can show you the bend over diagram also to this. Let me just clear this. I can go to this, I can turn off this deflection diagram. I wanted to see this MZ bend over diagram. So this is a bend over diagram for whole structure. If I want to see the bending over diagram for only one frame, I can just go to this plan. I can select one of the frames. I can select this frame. I can say Alt VV, or I can click right side, right mouse click, new view, okay. And I can use this left side view because I wanted to see the Venn diagram in this direction. So this is nothing but LS, means left side. So here I have a left side, sorry, not this one. So here I have a left side view, click on it. See, these are all the Venn diagrams. These are all the Venn diagrams. If I want to see, if I want to change the scaling of it, I have to press Control, you scroll in or out, right? This is what it is. And moreover, if you want to see, if you want to just know for which combination this diagram or Venn diagram is displayed, that we can see from this picture. From this, you can see this. From this load combination, you can see, sorry, one second. From this load combination, I can say that this is the Venn diagram for this combination, like 1.5 times of the dead load plus earthquake negative direction. If I want to click the Venn diagram, or if I want to see the Venn diagram for any combination, I can click any of this combination, like I can see the first one, 1.5 times the dead plus line. If I want to see next combination, either click here, go for the second one, or I can now scroll this down. Sorry, I can just use the down arrow. I'm just using down arrow, down arrow, down arrow, down arrow, down arrow. See, the combinations are getting changed. Down arrow, down arrow, down arrow, up arrow, up arrow, up arrow. So these are all the Venn diagrams that is displayed for these combinations, right? If I want to change the scales of this Venn diagram, yes, press Control, use this mouse, scroll in, scroll out. Use this as mouse, scroll in, scroll out. Right? And now if I want to see the shear force diagram, I can go to this Fy, or otherwise if I want to see any kind of a resultant like axial force, shear in Y, shear in Z, torsion, moment about Y-axis, moment about Z-axis, right? I can just now click, I can turn off this one, I can turn on this one. See, this is axial force diagram, press Control, scroll in, scroll in, scroll in, scroll in. I'm just changing this scale, so scroll in, scroll in, scroll in, right? Now I can go for this, I can turn off this, the shear Y, scroll in, shear Y, turn off, turn on. This is shear Z, turn off, torsion, scroll in, turn off, My, bending moment about Y-axis. This is the bending moment diagram about Y-axis, turn off. And this is MZ, bending out about Z-axis, bending out about Z-axis, right? This is what it is. This is what it is, right? If I want to see the values, if I want to see what this value is, there are two ways. There are two ways. You can click on this beam twice. Click on this beam twice, right? I'm pressing now Shift plus K for nodes display. Shift plus K for nodes display. Can you please note down? Shift plus K for nodes display. Shift plus K for nodes display. Right? If I want to see the Venn diagram values, I can click twice on it. Now the dialog box is displayed. I can click shear and bending here. Click on it. See now, so this is what the shear force diagram is. For this beam, this is the shear force diagram for this combination, right? I can go to any combination like this one. Now see, now the shear force values are changed. This value is changed. This value is changed. right? If I want to find out the shear force value at any point in the beam, I can just scroll this one. Can you please look at this point? So this is scroll bar. This is select this and move it. When you are moving it, when you are moving this one, the values here are changing. Here the values are changing. Here the values are again changing. This one and then this one. These values are changing. So this is the distance where exactly it is. This point is here. This knob is here. 0.585 meters from this left side, right? So if I want to see, or if I want to know the bend moment diagram values, maybe 1.5 meters, something else, you can straight away type the number here, 1.5 meters. See, now this is moved. This knob has been moved from here to, now it is moved to here. So at a distance of 1.5 meters from the left side, so this is the shear value and this is the bending moment value, Fy and then Mz values for this combinations, right? I can click or I can change this combination. So this is the one way. This is a one way. The other way is if I want to see the whole bend moment diagram values for entire structure, then I can go to this. I can just go to this view results. I can go to this results and then view values. I wanted to view the value, so results, view value, and then I can go to this beam results. Then I can click on this bending. So here we have a bending. So I wanted to know the bending values like end point and then midpoint. I can click the end point and then midpoint. I can say annotate, means indicate them. Indicate. See, these are all the values. These are all the values. See how it is? It looks so clumsy, but these are the values. If you want to see any particular value here, if you want to see very particular value here, you can use this option, zoom options. See here, I have a list of zoom options. So I can click this, I can make a small window. See, those are the values. I can just see these values separately now after using this zoom option. If I want to get back, I can just say, I can just click on this beam, I can get back. Right? Post processing. Okay, this one, MZ, and I can go to this results, view value, beam results, bending end point, and then midpoint, annotate, close. I can now see it. If I want to see any values particularly, again I can go to this dynamic window. Let's check like this. See these values. If you want to see further, in fact, this has to be still active. So there is a kind of a problem with this start. I can just zoom in further, zoom in further more. Right, this is how you can just see the window diagrams and of course the shear values also. Right, now tell me, is this clear to all of you? Is this clear to all of you? Can you all please confirm, is this clear to all of you? Then we can get into this design parameters. Can you please get into this? Good, very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. We have not yet found out this critical beam so far, Mr. Srinivas. We will do that. We are just in the analysis stage. It's a kind of a COVID test. We are now finding out whether this COVID is positive or negative. We are just analyzing it. Yeah, for just knowing the beam values for only one, for knowing the values for only one beam, you click on it twice. Click twice. Click twice. Displayed. This box is displayed. Go to the options given here. Here I have a shear and bending. Click on it, and these are the values. I can change the combination here. I can give the values separately here. Yeah, we can take a print of this separately. I can let you know this print options, other miscellaneous options in the last class. We have to take the load combinations and the Bend-Over diagrams for all individual load men. We have to design a member to resist any kind of a situation, nothing but for any kind of a combination. So that is what it means. You have to design a structural element to resist any kind of a load combination. Yeah, I agree with you, Syed. Syed, I agree with you. Lizu is saying rather than checking each load combination individually, any option to find out the maximum value for all the combinations. Yes, you can find out. You can find out the maximum bending moment also. That I let you know later. Don't worry. I just wanted to just show you the diagram. That's it. We can go to the tables and find out the maximum bending moment. That we can do it. Flow diaphragm is not a model. We will do it. Yes, I can open this 3D structure. I can let you know, Mr. Baumik, the remaining options I can let you know. I sincerely request you to pose the questions which is relevant to the discussion only, which is relevant to the discussion. Chandu is saying STAR will design the beams for maximum bend, which is at the center of a node also, but actually we need to design the beams for face of the column. Agreed, you are correct. But I have not designed the structure so far. I just have analyzed this structure. Avinash, I already had answered you. We have to ensure that each and every structural component is having enough strength to resist any kind of a load combination, any kind of a situation. That is what we are using this different load combinations for designing this structure, a structural component. Did we add load list before analysis? No, don't add load list before analysis. Regarding load envelope, yes, we will work on it, but not now. That is slightly. I mean, we can work on it tomorrow, not today. Yes, if I want to see the whole structure, I can just go to get back to this option. I can get back to this option, modeling option. Click on this modeling. That's it. We are now in the same modeling. If I want to see whole structure, as we know, this is the option we have here. Click on this option. Now the whole structure is done, right? Now I wanted to go to this. See here, geometry is done, general is done, analysis print is done. Now I can go to this design. Now I can go to this design. So far we just have analyzed this structure. Now we wanted to design this structure, right? If I want to design this structure, I must be giving the design parameters to it. And we know, as we know that it is a concrete structure, I have to now select this concrete, click on it. Once you click on this concrete, automatically this window, right side window will change. This is now changed. So I have to now go to this code book. I have to use this Indian code book only. So I have to go to this one, scroll this down, IS 456 2000, click on it. So this IS 456 code book, IS 456 code book. So and then I have to select parameters, and then design parameters, and then commands. So this is a convention procedure. However, However, before we are giving this design parameter to this structure, I must be adding the load list to it. I must be adding the load list to it. Reason is, if I add the load list to it, means we are informing or instructing StatPro to consider only such kind of a load list to consider for the designing of a component or designing of this structure, right? So I have to now go to this. I have to now go to this commands. I wanted to add the load list before adding this design parameters to it. Commands, loading, and then load list. Can you please take a screenshot? Commands, loading, and then load list. Can you all please take a screenshot of it? Go to this load list. Now I can select the load combinations which are to be considered for designing. Those combinations are factored combinations, or I can say limited of collapse combinations, or we can say limited of strength combinations, which are from 7 to 19. Factored combinations. Press a shift and then press a shift, and then you can click on the 19 load combination. Transfer them right side. Transfer them right side, and I can say OK. I can say OK to it. I can say OK to it, right? So now STAT would be ready to consider only these load combinations or load list for designing this structure. Now I'm here at this design. Now I'm here at the design, concrete, IS456. Now let me select the parameters. I can just keep them on the left side. I can keep them left side. So previously all those design parameters on the right side here, I wanted to transfer all of them to left side, and let's take the required ones or necessary ones. All right. I can take this compressive strength of concrete, yield strength of steel, yield strength of secondary steel. I can just scroll this down. I can ignore torsion. I can say OK. And now I can, whatever we have chosen the parameters here from this select the parameters, all those parameters are reflected here in this design parameters or define parameters. Select to define parameters, and we know the compressive strength. We are using this M30 grade of concrete 30, 1, 2, 3, right? I can say add. I can say FI main. I can go ahead using 550 grade of concrete, 550 000. Add FI secondary 415 000. Torsion. I'm neglecting this torsion effect because since it is a frame structure which is not having the stiffness due to this slab's presence, we can ignore it. When I have a slab, obviously a slab will also take a kind of, will also resist a kind of a stiffness from it. So since we are not modeling the slab, we are not modeling slab in our structure, we can ignore it because we are anyway ignoring this stiffness due to this slab. So we are ignoring or neglecting this torsion also, right? I can say add here and then close it. Add here and then close it. And then now once we are done with this, select a parameter is done, define a parameter is done. Now I need to go to this commands. Click on the commands. Now I have to go to this design beam, add, design column, add, take off, add, and then close. That is the order. The order is very simple. I'm explaining you once again. Order is very simple. So first design, concrete, code book, select the parameters, define those parameters, go to this commands, add them. So whatever we have added, all of them are now reflected here. All of them are now reflected exactly here, right? So now I'm going to select this FC, grade of concrete M30 for entire structure. Now I go to this assign to view. I go to this assign to view. Assign to view. Assign, yes. Again, I go to this FI main, assign to view, assign, yes. I go to this FI secondary, 415 steel, I can click this, assign, yes. Torsion 1, assign to view, assign, yes. Design beam. Till this moment, STAT does not know that STAT doesn't know that all horizontal members are beams. Now we are going to inform to the STAT Pro by selecting this design beam. I now will select this as select beams parallel to x-axis, select beams parallel to z-axis, and then assign yes. Now STAT is able to understand that all the horizontal members are now beams. Now I go to this column, design column, I go to this select, I go to this select, and then I go to this beams parallel to y direction. I can say assign yes, right? Now STAT knows that all vertical members are columns and then all horizontal members are beams. According to that, only STAT will be able to now perform the design of this structure or structural component. Now all of them are now done. Loads are added, load combinations are added, and then perform analysis added, load list is added, design parameters are added to this structure. Now complete information is given to this structure. Now I can run the analysis and check if any member is fails, right? For running this analysis, yes, I have to go to this. Let's go to this analyze. I can run the analysis. Here you can also please note down Control plus F5 is a shortcut key. Control plus F5 is a shortcut key. Or one more option is F9. F9. You can also click F9 for running the analysis. Control F5 or F9. I'm clicking here. I save this model, run the analysis. So far, one warning, one note. See, now warnings are increasing. 14, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50. 75, 85. All of you can clap now. 100 warnings. 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. Wow. There are 600 warnings now. Congratulations, we have got 626 warnings. Right? Now I need to go to this. Now I need to go to this warnings. See here, I have 0 errors. Fantastic. This is the first achievement we could make it. And the second one is there are 626 warnings. And there is only one note. Okay, this one is fine. We can ignore it. So there are 626 warnings. Now I wanted to see where those warnings are there and how those warnings, right? So just to see those warnings, I have to go to this view output file, select this. I can say done. I can say done. View output file and then done. Maximize this. And it is still loading. It is still loading. Please look at here. It is still loading. So here I have warnings. I click here. So there are all the warnings. Oh, so many warnings. Yes, these are all the warnings, right? If you can just see this warning, so this is one kind of a warning, and remaining all are again similar warnings like length to depth ratio for members, so on so, and then again length to depth member for so on so on so on so. So these are all the one type of warning, and then section fails. Section fails is another type of warning, and then maximum. This is another type of warning. Means there are four types of the warnings. Here we have four types of the warnings. So one type, like let's take this first warning, means not this one. Let me take this warning. So length to depth ratio for a member is less than. I can just show you here. So here what it is saying is length to depth ratio for a member 74 is less than 2.5. So what? So D beam is not designed. So as we know, when we have a member whose length to depth ratio is less than or equal to 2.5, so which is usually called as a deep beam, which is usually called as a deep beam. So STAAD is now getting confused. When we are adding a secondary beam on a primary one, automatically primary beam will have a extra node and that beam will be divided into two. So STAAD will consider that individual segment as an individual beam, which is in fact not the correct. So wherever we have a beams, I mean main beams which are supporting this secondary beams, those main beams are divided with multiple segments, and if length of those members are less than or equal to 2.5 times the depth of the member, STAAD will consider this as a warning. This considered as a warning, and it is saying that STAAD is not designing this D beam. STAAD is saying we are not designing this D beams, right? So it is a warning that you can avoid it, to be frank. But however, if you want to rectify it, so there is an option here. There is an option here that we can rectify them. So when we get this kind of a warning, so that I need to keep it left side, I have to go to, sorry, let me keep it this on the left side. I need to go to this one Word file, click here. I need to list out all these member numbers. I need to list out all these member numbers. Let me keep this on right side, and I have to write all the member numbers. What is this member number? 74, 87, 96, like this. So 74 space, 87 space, 96 space, 104 space, 116 space, 164 space, and then 267 space, 280 space, 288 space. Likewise, I need to type all these member numbers, right? So once I add all these member numbers, I must be mentioning like ENSH space 1 space MEMB member space. See, ENSH1 space MEMB member space numbers. ENSS, EN means enhanced, EN means enhanced, SH means shear strength, enhanced shear strength, 1 means 100%, member means members. So for all these members, enhanced shear strength, and the shear strength has been enhanced 100%. So by using this command, we can just rectify, or we can just clear all these warnings. We can clear all these warnings, right? Likewise, we have to add all the member numbers 1, 2, 3, so on, so on, so on. So add all the members, and then we can copy this. Control C, copy it, and paste this one in the same STAAD editor. Paste this one in the same STAAD editor, right? I can now go to another STAAD. Another go this one. So likewise, we have all these numbers, either 100% or 300%. See, enhances shear strength, I can say 100% here. So these are all the member numbers. These are all the numbers, which I had in fact copied, mentioned in the separate file. I'm just copying it, Control C, copy. I'm going to this file, close this file. Let's go to this STAAD main file. Now I have to go to this STAAD editor. I have to go to this STAAD editor, right? Click on it, scroll this one down, extreme down. Yes, these are all the design parameters. See here, So this is the perform analysis that we had added earlier, and then load list was added, and then start concrete design. Nothing but start is now starting designing these concrete elements like a code Indian. Indian code has been chosen, and then grade of concrete, grade of steel, something, torsion, something. Here I need to paste it. Here I'll say enter, write some stars, again enter, write some more stars, right? Before the beam design, I must be mentioning it. Before beam design, I must be mentioning it. So I can just say here, control V paste it. Because before designing it, every input information has to be given to StatPro. So that is why before the instruction of beam design, we have to paste this one. We have to paste this one. Means all the set of information like torsion and the grade of material. This is the input details, right? If I need to design a beam, this is the thing that I need it, right? Similarly, I should paste this one, enhance shear strength, before beam design option. Now I can say okay. I can say yes. Now again I run the analysis. Now I'm going to use this shortcut key, which is F9. I'm using shortcut key F9. Earlier we had 626 warnings, and let's see now. Let's start run the analysis. Last time we had 626 warnings. Now, yes, almost 125 warnings are cleared, and remaining we had 505 warnings. Those warnings are related to design parameters, like members are failed. I can say the members are failed, right? So now I wanted to see which member is failed. So again, I can get back to this StatPro. I go to this view output file, click on it. I can say done. So it's loading. It's still loading. Let it load. Yes, done. So I have to now click on this concrete design. I can say control F means find, control F find. I can type adequate, 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 such. So there is one adequate. Adequate means not really adequate. The full statement is section is not adequate means the section is failed. So one column is failed. When I say adequate means the column is failed. Find next, one more. There are so many columns got failed. See, there are so many columns. If I want to see which member is this, then I have to just find out the member number, like column number 45, and then this one, and so on. So I go to this. There are some more, this one 3726, and then this one also, we can rectify them. So remaining all are columns failure. If I want to see any member beam is failed, I can say control F find. I can type fail. Yes, member is failed. failed. So when I could find, fail means beams are failed. When I could find adequate, columns are failed, right? So this is how we have to verify it. So what I do is tomorrow we will go in deep into this. Why those members are failed, how can we rectify them will be discussed tomorrow, right? I don't want to just further continue it. I actually wanted to finish this and so wanted to explain something more about earthquake. I don't think so that I can cover it for today. I also don't want you to don't want you to be exhausted, right? So now I'm going to stop it. Can I stop this? Can I stop? Can I stop now? Yes, we will now stop. That's great. See, when I ask